Welcome to Jets Overtime, presented by Nissan. Eric Allen and Anthony Becht here inside the BetMGM studio. Well, the New York Jets were left for dead last week in New England. They showed more than a pulse today on Halloween. It was fitting. Shocking today's outcome, Anthony Becht. A 34-31 come-from-behind victory over what was a surging Cincinnati Bengals team.
You didn't believe? Is that what happened?
I believed. I did not see this one coming.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, listen, you got a backup quarterback in, okay? You got some guys nicked up. Your best wide receiver's not playing. And you're going against a team who arguably just beat one of the best teams in football in the Ravens the week before. So clearly, you're coming in with a sense of, okay, you got to play a perfect game. And even at that, it may be a struggle. I got to give a lot of credit to this team and what they did. It starts at the quarterback position because Mike White had a lot on his shoulders. Let's not sugarcoat, this whole thing, because he had to go out and win this game for the team. They couldn't just run the ball, and I had mentioned that had to be a focal point today. But clearly, the Jets came out saying, "Listen, we believe in what he can do, and we're going to try to win this thing." And the way to win it is what they did. They spread them out. They threw the ball. I think 11 for 11 to start the game. I mean, all those things played into a factor on why this team won, but Mike White had to be on point, and boy, was he ever. I mean, just the fact that he distributed the ball through so many different receivers, running backs, took what the defense gave him, and he was able to make those completions. And he got he got shaken up a little bit in this game. A couple interceptions, some things happened, but he was able to get 3 TDs, the 400 yards passing. Just a remarkable performance. It starts with him, but a lot of other names we're going to mention in this broadcast about how well they played today.
Mike White threw for 405 yards and 3 touchdowns. They're the New York Jets, with Mike White starting at quarterback, total 511 yards. But I'll tell you what, this comeback does not happen unless Shaq Lawson doesn't come up with one of the plays of the game in the fourth quarter. The Jets needed their first interception of the year, and they got it from Hey, Shaq, what does this win say about this football team?
Oh, man, we ain't never give up, man. We got a great group of guys. I know we're young right now, but you seen in the last couple games, we find a way not to give up, man. And we told ourselves, we come back in the second half, find a way to get a turnover and get the ball back to our offense, we're going to do great, man. Our offense hold us down all day, man.
The first interception of the year goes to Shaq Lawson. Can you take me through that play?
I seen on first down, a couple times I could have had one early. He was throwing it quick. And, man, D-line coach said, we got to make some flash plays. Like, don't care if they scheming us or not. And right before he said it, man, I said, man, I tipped the ball. The play happened in slow motion. I ain't going to lie to you. Play happened in slow motion and came down with it, man. And I knew I had to give an opportunity to the offense again to make a play.
Hey, you've been playing football a long time. What did you think about Mike White's performance? First NFL start, he throws for 405 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Hey, it's a credible performance by him, man. We told him all week we was going to be behind him. He said he got us, we got him. That's the one thing about football, man. It's a family. You build that team chemistry. And we trust White out there as our quarterback, man. And it shows today he put up record numbers.
Shaq, what does this say about this team's heart, man? Everybody counted you out after what happened last week and the way you responded all the way through 60 minutes.
Oh, man, this team got heart, man. This team got heart. That's what I'm saying. We young. We got a lot of veterans on here. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we got to keep fighting, man. This is NFL. The league ain't going to feel sorry for you young or not, man. We just had to go out there and find a way to get a win.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You are watching Jets Overtime presented by Nissan. Eric Allen with Anthony Becht. We just heard from one of today's heroes, Shaq Lawson. Jets cut that deficit to 31-26, and then Lawson on the first play from scrimmage, he reads Joey Burrow, gets his hands up, and then has the presence of mind to find the football.
Yeah, it was a great play by him. I mean, you're talking about you need a splash play. He said it in his interview. The defensive line coach called it out. We got to make something happen. But it's not just him. You see Quinnen Williams with an awesome sack. Rankins had a big-time sack also in this game. everybody kind of chipped in when it was important and needed, and you see there the interception. Wow, that's pretty good. Tipping the ball up to yourself, catching it, and then also the distraction drill by Joe Burrow right at the end there. So, wow, I mean, all the things were aligning today, and usually you didn't really see the finished product. Sometimes it goes a different way, but you gotta take it your hat off to this coaching staff for having these players prepared to go, and they play with emotion. You saw Robert Saleh in the first defensive stop on the goal line. He was fired up, man. He was into it. I love it. I think it's great. And the guys feed off that, in particular the defense and offensively, man. It was a show. It was fun to watch. I mean, if you're a Jet fan, you had to be thoroughly excited about everything you saw today in this football game.
Can we talk about Mike LaFleur a little bit here? Because I know externally a lot of people criticized him. And Robert Saleh reiterated time and time again that hey, he's calling some good games. Today he called a wonderful game. I mean, had a lot of pressure on you. Mike White starting his first NFL game, and he pulled out all the stops.
Well, look, the media is going to beat you up pretty bad with the offense. You don't score in the first quarter of any game this season. That's an issue. But he did have a lot of wrinkles. It's nice to stay on schedules too, right, Eric? I mean, when you're calling plays, you don't want to be behind the sticks. You don't want to be down 10 points. You want all those things to be in play so that you can stick to the schedule of your play card. And another thing, he was in the box today. I think being in the box today may just be the finishing touch for him moving forward because he's got eyes. You saw the surface pad in front of him. He's able to replay some things. He's able to go over some stuff that he wants, and he can take some notes in between the series. I mean, look, he's got the surface pad on the field as well, but when you see it live, sometimes what catches your eye on a play helps you with a different play, and it instantaneously becomes an important call on your card instead of waiting for the next series to look at it on that surface pad. So, again, just being able to see every play transform, and then, you may catch something with your eye in the coverage, and all of a sudden now that series you can make an adjustment, not the next.
Last week in relief of Zach Wilson, Mike White was 20 of 32 for 202 yards with 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Today against the Bengals, he was 37 of 45 for 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The voice of the Jets, Bob Wischusen, with Mike White after the game.
Mike White, explain what we just saw.
Oh, what we saw was a group of guys that just fought their tails off. I mean, just from beginning to end, the adversity we faced early and our defense picking us up, and then in the second half, offense picking defense up, and then defense made an unbelievable play, and we were able to capitalize on it. It was just a complete group effort, and I think that was the coolest part of it is it wasn't one guy or one side of the ball. It was a full team effort.
It's great to say that, and you're awesome for giving all of your teammates as much credit as you did. But you're going to be the story out of this game. A 400-yard performance in your first ever start. Why did you look so comfortable right from the start? We probably expect a quarterback would settle into the game. You looked like the same guy on the first drive that you did on the last drive. Explain that.
I think it just goes into preparation and trusting the plan we put together, that Coach LaFleur put together, and trusting the guys around us to execute. We had a great 3 days of practice. Guys were on their stuff, walkthroughs towards the end of the week. It was smooth, and I think it's just I hate to say it, but I can't do it by myself. I mean, they got to catch, they got to break tackles. I mean, Ty Johnson, the touchdown he scored. I mean, Braxton Berrios, the unbelievable catch, and Tyler Croft getting open versus man on the third one. I mean, I only deliver the ball, and so it's an awesome feeling going into that locker room and hugging those guys and realizing getting a game ball for my first win. It was indescribable.
And the mood in this locker room. I mean, I'm hearing it sounds like New Year's Eve on the other side of these doors. So what do you think it meant to this team? This was a game, you're making your first ever start. This is a team that you're facing today that was fighting it out for a division title, it looks like. No one saw this win coming. What does it mean to you, but also this whole group?
I think that's what makes it that much sweeter is there are about 70-plus guys that did see this coming, and they were in that locker room, and that's what that celebration is the confirmation that we believed it beforehand, and we went out there and we did it. We overcame adversity. It wasn't a smooth win, even down to the last drive. I mean, it was an awesome, awesome, awesome win.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How about the performance of not only Mike White, but Michael Carter, a 4th-round pick out of North Carolina? He scores his 3rd touchdown in 4 games on the ground and finishes with 9 receptions for 95 yards. Anthony, the Jets came out of the gate smoking today on Halloween. How about that first drive that culminated on this scoring run from Michael Carter? Michael Carter, last week against the New England Patriots, more than 100 yards from scrimmage. And then today, he was a threat running the football and receiving it as well.
Well, they finally got their first points of the first quarter, and it happened on the first drive. And this is just an awesome play that's really drawn up here by LaFleur. And he does a nice job, and it really does start at the point of attack. You have on the outside Griffin and then George Fant right here have to block those defenders. As you see them come off the ball and you see them engage, bam, it's perfectly done where they're actually pinning these guys right inside with great leverage for them. Now, let's go back here as we rewind it because now we got the pullers, right? The guys coming out on the edge that make this play possible. And when you see these guys, number one, it's the tight end on the back, which is Croft, okay? He's going to come around and he's going to block the outside. And then you have right here, Vera Tucker's going to wrap around and take that inside linebacker. Now, you got to make sure that the other pieces are blocked. The toughest block right here is by the center. The center's got to take a great angle so that he can get this inside backer. And then Mims is going to come all the way through all this trash right here, and he's going to block the safety. Now, as we play this out, just watch how everybody's pulled, and then bam, right here, everybody's engaged with somebody. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just beautifully done. And then, of course, our buddy Michael Carter does the rest there, follows it right in, pretty much untouched. Just a great design, a great way to start the game.
It's a great example of all 11 players doing their jobs. And what has to make Jets fans so excited is not only Michael Carter there, but Elijah Vera Tucker, who continues to be one of this team's most consistent players. Moving quickly here on Jets Overtime presented by Nissan. There are today's final numbers. The Jets coming up with a fantastic come-from-behind win over the Cincinnati Bengals, 34-31. Eric Allen here with Anthony Beck inside the BetMGM studio. You broke that down very nicely. Michael Carter following the caravan. And how about this possession right before the half? Jets are down 17-7 right there. We thought Keelan Cole had a touchdown. They reviewed it. Unfortunately, did not go the Jets' way. And Mike White comes back and fires a touchdown pass to Braxton Berrios. Big moment in the game because the Jets had 3 turnovers in the first half.
Yeah, well, aggressiveness, number one, offensively. You know, you got to credit them for that because they knew they had to score a touchdown. Ball placement as well when you're throwing the football. Mike White putting that out route. He just had that one catch by Keelan, well, almost catch by Keelan Cole on the sidelines. Then you come right back to a deep out to Braxton Berrios, and he does a nice job holding it in and pinning it against his chest. It was really close. Could have either gone either way. They did call it a touchdown, but again, it's all about giving your receivers a chance to make a play, and they did. So taking advantage of that in the football game is huge. Going into halftime, having that confidence and shrinking the gap on what you had to do to come back was even better. So it definitely gives you a boost and a lift heading into the locker room.
Yeah, situational football. We continue to talk about that. The Jets have to step up and play better situational football. Well, they finally get a first quarter touchdown. First quarter points, and then right before halftime, they make it a 3-point game despite being -3 there in the first half in the turnover department. They finally come up with that big takeaway themselves defensively. We continue to watch some of these highlights. How about Ty Johnson's touchdown there in the fourth quarter? The balancing act down the sideline.
Yeah, just a heck of a job for him. I mean, 4 rushes. He also had 5 catches in the game, and they were big catches. I mean, he talked about it. Getting the checks downs and getting those plays, reminding the quarterback on the sideline, check down, first down, touchdown, and that was great. I love that. I love that motto because I think we've seen the last couple weeks that those have been favorable options for the Jets when you're talking about moving the football. The quarterback doesn't have what he wants, check it down to one of his other players. Michael Carter in the same sense. 24 touches for Michael Carter. I think the most important statistic, and people will forget about it because the passing yards were so high in 45 passes, but 27 rushes. It was only 97 yards. That may not seem like a lot to folks, but I'm telling you this. You get the ball, run the ball 20-plus times in a game, you're going to find yourself in a position to win it. And, of course, with Mike White's performance, that kind of put the the cherry on top of it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So many superlatives coming out of Sunday's game. A wild one at MetLife Stadium. And Ethan Greenberg and Eric Coleman were there.
Thanks, EA. I'm here on the field with EC, and obviously all the attention going to go to Mike White. But how about Michael Carter? What did you make of his performance?
I thought he did a great job today. He caught the ball well out of the backfield. He picked up blitzes. He ran between the tackles. I mean, just a great all-around day for the young running back.
You know, and for a quarterback like Mike White to be able to dump it off to somebody like Michael Carter, how beneficial is that for the confidence of Mike White moving forward?
Well, you know, it's just like hitting a bunch of layups when you play basketball. You get to check it off down to your running back. He gets chunks. He moves the chains for you, keeps drives going. It just builds your confidence. So I think that he was huge in building Mike White's confidence. Mike did a great job of throwing the ball, taking what the defense gave him, you know, not trying to do too much. And his players, his playmakers, made the plays.
You know, Michael Carter's obviously not the tallest, the biggest, the fastest, the strongest, but he really fights for yards. What did you make of Michael Carter in that sense of his game today?
Oh, man, he was scrappy. He was fighting for every inch. He was tough. He ran behind his pads. He made guys miss. You know, playing those smaller stature running backs are always difficult for us safeties. It's hard to track them behind the line. And by the time you see them, they're already through the hole. So he has a great advantage. He has great vision. Just an all-around very good football player, and his future is very bright.
But there were a couple young moments, let's call them, for Michael Carter. Let's go to the end of the game, had a chance to really ice the game, almost pulls up, it seems like. Then the Jets had the 3rd and 1. They got it. What's the teaching lesson there?
Well, you know, I think he may have thought he had the first down and it was time to shut it down. But, you know, just keep going. You know, just keep going. And, you know, I think the whole team has lessons to learn. I think when you play in these close games where you have to finish it off at the end of the year, it pays dividends. You know, you gain confidence as you continue to win, and you learn how to win. And they did a great job today of closing this game out, fighting hard to come back. Just a great performance by the team.
Obviously, Michael Carter, the star in the running backs room today, but I do want to end on this. What did you make of the attitude that not only he, but also Ty Johnson ran with, especially that touchdown at the end from Johnson?
Oh, man, it was impressive to see Johnson, you know, fighting for every yard. He was scrapping. You can see him celebrating. And when a lot of people thought that they were out of this game, they were still fighting. They never gave up. They continued to fight, and it was just awesome. You know, and, you know, just another play that I think of in the game was on the first interception. When the guy's running it back, he almost scores a touchdown. Elijah Moore catches him at the goal line. They have a goal line stand, no points on the board. Plays like that just show you the character of this team, show you that they're all gas, no breaks. They're not going to give up, and they really believe in one another.
Awesome. EC, EA, back to you and Anthony in studio.
Great stuff, fellas. Can we talk about the ball distribution today for Mike White? 10 different Jets with catches. Let me read you these stats here. We talk about Carter going for 9 for 95. Jameson Crowder, 8 catches, 84 yards. Ty Johnson, 5 catches, 71 yards. Elijah Moore, 6 catches, 67 yards. Then he had Denzel Mims with a pair of catches for 30 yards. Keelan Cole, 3 catches, 25 yards. Tyler Kroft, of course, the game-winning touchdown, a pair of catches, 20 yards. Braxton Berrios, 2 catches, 13 yards. The big touchdown before halftime. Jeff Smith had a catch, and Ryan Griffin had one as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, 82% completion percentage. Folks, I mean, that's pretty sick when you think about that. As many passes as he threw, was it 45 total passes that came out of his hand? 82% completion percentage? I mean, that's like kind of next level. I mean, he went out there and played a performance of any quarterback's life, let alone his own. So, you know, give him credit. The kid played with confidence. He wasn't shook. He understood the plays. He knew where people were going to be. The kid had limited reps the entire season, got a full week of work, and guys believed in what he was doing, and he started to just get a great feel, and that helped the coordinator because they were in good situations. They were able to keep themselves ahead of the chains. They didn't make any crucial mistakes as far as, you know, getting sacks and stuff like that pushed them back into different scenarios. So, I mean, look, this goes down as one of the all-timers now. I think you said it, Vinny Testaverde. Back in 2000, I was on the team in 2000. That's 20-plus years ago as the last time a quarterback for the Jets has thrown for over 400 yards. So just an impressive performance. Congratulations to him, man. That's something to edge your name in stone for sure.
So no surprise here, but Robert Saleh said after the game, Mike White will indeed start Thursday night against the Colts.
I mean, it's probably the most no-brainer decision he's ever going to have to make. I mean, you don't want to make the back paper because of that statement right there. But yeah, I mean, come on. There's no ifs, ands about it. I mean, the kid had one of the best. It's going to be the best performance of any quarterback on today in all the NFL. So it's something to bring on. Now, can he bring it on Thursday? That'll be the thing, because if he brings it on Thursday and this team can find a way to win, and he has a reasonable game where he helps and leads this team to victory, now we start having a conversation. But again, he's doing his job. He's the backup, right, Eric? That's what his job is. He stepped in and did it at the highest level possible, and the Jets got a W from it.
It's just, you couldn't write a story like this. You really couldn't. The Jets last week in New England, 54-13, 41-point loss. 41-point loss. And then they come back today, and it's Mike White getting his first NFL start. And he did some good things against the Patriots, no doubt about it, but leads the Jets down the field in that first drive. Then right before half, that big possession, and then he was just scintillating in the fourth quarter. What do you think he's thinking right now in terms of, okay, he really handled himself with calm and poise when he was speaking to the media post-game, and you could tell the players love him.
Yeah.
What do you think he's thinking right now, leaving MetLife Stadium, knowing what's ahead?
Well, people forget. I mean, this kid threw for over 4,000 yards in a season in college back at Western Kentucky. He had a 480-yard passing game one time for them. So he's been in these circumstances where he's thrown the ball a ton. So the guy can clearly see the field. Okay, but it's just been a minute. It's been a minute since 2017 or whenever that was that he's done it. So it's got to be refreshing, but muscle memory definitely kicked in. He's loving it, man. It's fun. You enjoy it. I mean, listen, backups don't get a chance to do the kind of things that he did in this game from an offensive standpoint, because usually coordinators kind of, they kind of take a step back a little bit on how they call the game. So he got an opportunity to play great today. And I know one thing, his entire family came in, which is great, because I got dropped off by the same service that was going to pick up his family today. And there was a lot of the White family coming in. So I know they're going to be having a great time. He deserves it. And I'm sure he's going to have a little cocktail to enjoy it as well.
Okay, so big picture, though. Zach Wilson, obviously he's going to be happy for his teammate, a guy that he does a lot of work with in Mike White. But what can he take from watching the offense today?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think the one thing that Mike has done that I think clearly in this game showed up was, he didn't put himself in a situation where there was trouble, right? He checked down the ball to his back multiple times, and those turned into big plays. The backs made people miss. Tight end was available, spread the ball around. A lot of good weapons where you don't have to be the focal point. They didn't have their starting quarterback or their top receiver in this football game, and they're able to accomplish what they did today. So it's not about who's there, who's not there. It's about just executing and taking what the defense gives you. Sometimes it can lead you into a game just like this, 400-plus yards passing, when nobody thought that was even realistic today, let alone win a football game.
Okay, the Bengals got their points, but what did you think on the other side of the ball, what the Jets did against Jamar Chase? 754 yards receiving entering this game, 201 yards last week against the Baltimore Ravens. Targeted 9 times today, 3 catches.
Yeah, I mean, he had a couple drops. Joe Burrow was feeling a little bit of the pressure from the defense today. Quinnen Williams, Rankins, Anuga got in there and did a nice job with his pass rush. I think when you look at the total package today, they were able to cause some turnovers, and of course this was the biggest one when they got the ball back to go ahead and kind of increase the lead. So, for me, I think the defense played spectacular. It was a team effort, right? No, you didn't have to talk about anything on special teams. They did miss a field goal opportunity in the game. But as far as that's concerned, I mean, this is exactly how you wanted it to plan out for you. And let's not sugarcoat this. This is a good Bengals team who had every player available for them today that the Jets beat. And nobody was picking the Jets to win this one. So this is really a big win for this organization, for this team. It's, talking about, it's the Bengals. The Bengals are one of the top teams in the AFC, bottom line, period. And they're going to continue to that. They're going to win more games. They're going to probably make the playoffs. And the Jets took them down with their best players there.
The fellas mentioned it before. How big was that first quarter stand where White gets picked off, he throws a little bit hot there to Jameson Crowder, ball's deflected, Bates goes the other way. First and goal at the 1.
Yeah.
Not only did they stop them, they didn't force a field goal attempt. They got off the field on 4th down. No points.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the emotion of Robert Saleh in the game after that. The guy was fired up, and that does give your defense a good feeling. It makes them feel confident in what they're doing. It was great to see C.J. Mosley back. Great to see Jarrad Davis back. I mean, these guys were clearly big-time players in this game, flying around. They are literally the captain guys that you need that run the ship on the defensive side. And there was some really good contested play. You know, I thought that Bryce Hall did an excellent job today. Heck, even the ball he gave up over the middle to Boyd, he was right there. I mean, he could have swiped it away. His fingertips just missed it. He's getting better as a player. So guys are starting to improve, and when they put it all together, they can be very good, even if they don't have all their players. And then you go back and think to yourself, okay, if they did have all their players intact, what could this team be? So, again, patience is good. This is a nice trick or treat for the fans out there on Halloween to get this one against the Bengals.
Yeah, but one player got back in the lineup today who you just mentioned, Jarrad Davis, 3 tackles for the Jets. Ethan Greenberg talked to him after the game.
Here with Jets linebacker Jarrad Davis. Jarrad, what a game to return to make your Jets debut in. Let's start with you. What was it like to be back for the first time this season?
I mean, it was exciting, man. It was everything that I remembered football as. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long road to get to this point. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of hard times before this season, and just being able to really just arrive at whatever's in front of me and just being able to conquer it, you know what I'm saying, and just being able to respond to whatever challenge comes my way has been a theme for me the past year, really. And it's just been exciting to be able to come out here and just really be able to really just have this outlet on the field and be able to really play and express myself with my teammates, man.
Defensively speaking, obviously you don't want to give up 31 points, but to close the door at the end there, what does that say about this group?
I mean, it just says a lot about us. You know, we are constantly, every day, trying to establish our standard, man. Establish what we're going to be about. And coming out today just showed that the heart that we have. Now it's on us to hold ourselves accountable and keep ourselves to that level, to that standard, you know. It's going to be a challenge every day because a lot of us know what this has been here. I came from Detroit. I knew what that was there. And that's the biggest challenge, being able to hold yourself accountable and stick to that standard every day, not only when it's game day, but in practice too.
And you've seen a lot of football through your career in the NFL. What did you see from this young offense, and what did you see from Mike White in particular?
I mean, Mike, man, I love the confidence. I mean, I've seen so many backup quarterbacks come in the game, and, the game changes a little bit for the offense, but it seemed pretty open today, you know. Mike came out, practiced hard this week, prepared the guys, and he's like a big quote for us is just for the offense, it's just never flinch, and they never flinched, man. A couple turnovers here and there, cool, but as long as we got a blade of grass to defend, we're gonna work. We're going to get the ball back to the offense, and we're going to have fun doing it, man. And that's another big thing, too. It looked like everybody just enjoyed the moments today. There were some ups and downs, but we knew in those moments when we were down, we needed to turn it back up, man. And just being able to come out here and just put our hearts on the line, bro, like, that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
All right, Jarrad, let's wrap up with this. Being a veteran on this team, what's the next step for this group, and how do you make sure you guys don't ride this too high just like you don't ride the lows too low?
Well, the big thing that we always talk about, we're starting to really talk about now, is this one play. This one play. You know, this was a game. This game is over. This play is behind us. Now we got the next play. And the next play is tonight, taking care of our bodies. We got to start being more, we got to promote being a veteran to everybody in that building. You got to take care of yourself. It's good to celebrate this win, but we know what's coming on Thursday. Thursday night game, we got to travel there, so we got to take care of our bodies tonight. We got to be smart. Everybody's got to get rest. Everybody's got to get a head start right now on Indy and get ready. We got to prepare ourselves as if we know that we're stepping into a win, not was just playing the next game. You know what I mean? So it's going to come with everything we do. Just really, it's like everybody. It's like being a human being, man. You got to learn how to flip the little things in order to get to the big prize, So.
Awesome, Jarrad. Appreciate the time. Congratulations.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all, man. Y'all have a great evening.
Good stuff from Ethan Greenberg with Jarrad Davis. Something struck me there in the background. You saw all the kids playing and having a good time and celebrating a wonderful Sunday at MetLife Stadium. Jets quarterback Mike White said of today, It's what you dream of when you're a little kid. To be able to compete at the highest level, it's awesome. I can't describe it. This was remarkable, what we witnessed today at MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, unbelievable effort by him. I mean, he just, and it takes everybody, right? It takes everybody to win a football game, but he stood out big time, man. You know, again, I'll say it again, there's a lot on the quarterback's shoulders. You know, they could have went a different direction. They could have went easy on the game plan. They came out slinging. I mean, I don't think anybody thought that they were going to be throwing passes, you know, time after time after time in the first drive, and they went right down the field. Just did an excellent job. It was a good mix. You know, LaFleur was up in the box. That seemed to be very helpful as well. And the defense came up with some big plays, and that's what it was going to take. And they had to have some big stops as well. Now, just like you know, Jarrad Davis said, they got to take that to the next game. It's a big win, but how do you build off that to get 2 in a row and maybe 3 in a row? It really doesn't matter who they play now, because whether it's what everybody's on their schedule is going to be just as good or not as good as the Bengals. So the Bengals is a good team. So that should give you the confidence to know you can play with anybody regardless of who's on the field. And I think that's the approach you have moving forward with the remaining part of their schedule.
The New York Jets are 2-5. The Cincinnati Bengals are 5-3. What a game. What a day. The green and white come home with a 34-31 victory. We'll be talking about Mike White's performance for years. He'll get another crack Thursday night. Anthony Becht and I will be talking about it there Thursday on Pregame Central, and then Jets Overtime. Who knows what's in store for the green and white after this one. You know, anything can happen. Anything can happen in the National Football League, and we saw that today. For AB, I'm signing off, and enjoy your night.